So today I've got the Enffe Journey. This is a full suspension foldable e-bike with aluminum rims. This bike's pretty loaded for $1,199. Let's go over all the specs and details and take this bike out on a ride to see if it's really worth that price point and what a folding bike is like with full suspension and aluminum rims. So the first couple of things you're going to notice on this bike is the fact that it is a folding bike and that it has these alloy rims. Now, alloy rims like this are not common on a folding bike, so it's really nice to see, making this bike super rugged. So you don't have to worry about truing these wheels at all. Now, these are 20-inch wheels and they're 4-inch wide tires. So you're going to get that fat tire feel, but not the weight of a big 26-inch wheel. This bike's going to be a lot more portable, and hence the fact that this actually folds up is going to make it even more compact, so you can store this in a closet or put it in the back of your trunk with absolute ease. Now, this bike does come in 3 different colors, has a massive 48-volt, 20-amp-hour battery with an estimated range of around 80 miles. And the 48-volt battery is connected to the 750-watt rear hub motor that has a peak power of an estimated 1,500 watts. This bike should do really well on the hill climb, but we're gonna find out here in just a little bit. Now, when it comes to suspension on this, you do get a dual suspension. You get a coil fork up front and a coil fork in the back. There's a tiny bit of adjustability in the back to make the spring just a little bit stiffer. However, up front, you're just going to get a lockout up here. There's not gonna be a lot of adjustments. Now, Enffe doesn't give any specs on their website indicating exactly what the travel is on this, but based off of this, it does look like it might be around an 80-millimeter travel. And as for the rear suspension, I'm not really sure what the actual travel is at all. But the point of travel on a bike like this isn't to actually do really big jumps or drops or anything like that. It's designed to smooth out the road, where if you go on dirt roads or gravel roads, this bike is going to be much smoother than a bike that wouldn't have full suspension. So having full suspension on a folding style bike like this really isn't a necessity, it's just a nice upgrade. And I'm glad to see that the Enffe Journey actually came with that. Now, the battery on this bike is fully removable and it pops down into the down tube right here. You do have on one side a power port so you can charge this battery. And then over on this side, you do have an on-off switch. So if you're not going to be using this battery for quite a while or riding the bike, say over winter, it's definitely going to be nice that you can actually turn that power off so you don't have to worry about the battery draining while it's just sitting on your shelf. This is something that I really like to see on a lot of bikes that I review. You don't see it on a ton of bikes anymore, but I really appreciate the fact that Enffe actually installed that on this particular battery. Now, as for some of the standard stuff that we see on most e-bikes these days, they did equip it with a headlight with a horn built into it. You also get some metal fenders, both front and back, and then you also get this rear rack back here. The rear taillight does have brake indicators on them, so whenever you squeeze the brakes, it will light up a little bit brighter, and they also equip this with some turn signals. And when it comes to drivetrain on this, they have a Shimano 7-speed setup. This is a thumb shifter, so I really appreciate the fact that they didn't go with the old school on top shifter. They went with the thumb shifter. That seems to be keeping up with more of a modern style these days. But down here, you get a decent sized chain ring up front that has a double guard on it, so you don't have to worry about your pant legs getting caught in the chain ring, and you also don't have to worry about it bouncing off whenever you're going down the road. And then back here, you do get a Shimano Altus rear derailleur to shift through those 7 gears, and a 7-speed freewheel containing all of your gears that you'll be going through. One of the big features on this is the fact that this has Tektro hydraulic brakes, and these are going to be 180 mil rotors, both front and back, with 2 piston calipers. These are tried and true brakes. If you've watched this channel long enough, you know how much I like Tektro brakes, and these brakes seem to stop pretty well. We're going to get up to speed here and see what the brakes can actually do. 21 miles an hour, 23. Oh yeah, stopped really well. Not surprised. The Tektro brakes work really well. With the motor cutoffs, you don't have to worry about that motor continually running. Yeah, felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. Tektro brakes are really reliable. Let's go ahead and let's test the throttle real quick. See how quickly we can get up to speed to that stop sign. So punch it down. Pretty responsive throttle. Not too crazy of a pull, but we are already getting up to 20 miles an hour before that stop sign. That's pretty quick. I would say that's pretty impressive. Now, looking at your handlebars up here, you do get some ergonomic grips that seem to be single-sided lock on. Now, looking next to the grip here, you do get a control pad here to turn on your turn signals and use your horn. And then beside that, you do get your control pad to go through your pedal assist levels, turn on your headlight, go through your little menu system that you have, and also power on the bike. The screen is a color display that's going to display pretty much all the pertinent information that you would need whenever you're going down the road. And then next to that, you do get your Shimano shifter, you do get a thumb throttle, and then your other grip. So that's everything that you'll get in the cockpit up here. And they also included some nice wrapping around the cabling here to keep it kind of nice and tidy. So let's go ahead and let's go outside and let's test out the pedal assist levels and let's test out the hill climbing ability. Because I think with a 1500 watt peak power, this bike shouldn't have any problems conquering the big hill. And also they have a claimed speed of 28 miles an hour on their website. So we're gonna see if this display will actually show 28 miles an hour. All right, we're gonna test out the pedal assist levels on this. I'm in pedal assist 1 and it's going about 12 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2, it's gonna get me up to about 15.1. Pedal assist 3, shifting through the gears here. We are upwards of 19.8 on pedal assist 3. I'm already in my biggest or our toughest gear on this, so I can't shift anymore. So pedal assist 4, we are ghost pedaling at about 22 miles an hour. And we're upwards of 23.8 to 24.1. Pedal assist 5, there's no tension on the pedals at all. And I'm going 28.5 miles an hour. So we are getting to that speed that they claim, but you are having to use the cadence sensor because you do ghost pedal a little bit on this. I do have to say the rear suspension at 180 pounds is what I am as a rider. It's very supple. You can definitely feel it moving, which is nice because it's smoothing out the road quite a bit. Now, each pedal assist is going to get you up to a particular speed with the throttle. So the throttle is pedal assist locked. The throttle will go the maximum speed that the pedal assist will allow it to. When the turn signals are on, they do not indicate on the actual dash up here on the screen. So you will have to remember that you have your turn signals on. All right, here we are at the bottom of the big hill. Let's go ahead and let's test this. I've got it in the hardest gear and we're in pedal assist 5. Let's see how this thing does. All right, let this engage here. Now the cadence sensor does take about a half turn to fully kick in, but once it does, it gets going really well. Now this hill is 19% grade if you haven't seen me go up this hill before. And it will actually go about 12% right here. And then it kind of levels off a little bit and gets up a little bit steeper. But right up here where the driveway is, it gets going to about 19% grade and really pushes these bikes. Right now, I'm at 20 miles an hour, right under 20, and we're about ready to hit the 19% grade. And this bike is still going good. I always say on a pedal assist e-bike, if it can get up the hill at above 10 miles an hour, it's a good hill climber. And this thing is doing it. I saw it get down to about 12 and that was it. And man, it did it. This bike is an excellent hill climber, just as I suspected with that 1500 watts of peak power. So very impressed with the hill climbing ability on this bike in pedal assist. Okay, so I want to show you guys how easy it is to fold this bike. Simply just release the lever right here on the handlebars, push in on your pedals, twist them up. And then also there's a lever on this side. You'll just undo the little thumb lock and then pull out. Once you've done that, push the kickstand up, push out with your knee, and then it'll start to fold in. And there you go. That's how quickly you can fold your e-bike. There is no locking mechanism to keep this together, so I recommend either a bungee strap or a Velcro strap to the fork to the other side of the frame, or getting a large tote to put this in. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of move around whenever you're actually moving this in and out of your vehicle. Then to put it back together, just simply in reverse. And once you get the hang of this, you can do this in seconds. I mean, this has taken me a total of probably less than 15 seconds. That easy. So there you go. That's the Enffe Journey, and I think this is a really unique folding e-bike for 1,199 bucks, full retail. This thing comes with full suspension. You've got your fat tires, and then also you got all your standard stuff like your rear rack, your fenders, a comfortable seat, a nice color screen. There's a lot that this has to offer, not to mention it hit their claim 28 miles an hour, and also it even climbed the big hill really, really well. So if you guys are looking for an affordable folding e-bike, whether you're into camping and you want to put something in your RV, or you just want to save some space in your house, you might want to check this one out. It seems to be a pretty good e-bike. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Let me know, what do you think of folding e-bikes? What is your favorite folding e-bike you've ever ridden? And is this something that you would be interested in? All right, guys, you know what to do. Get out there and ride your e-bike.